morning, y'all. This is Tyler Prowant. He has started an organization called the Gulf Coast Skateparks Association, and he's just going to give us a presentation about what that organization has been doing, and possibly give us some help with planning for a skate park in Jackson County. So, go ahead.
First of all, thank you all for giving me some time to speak to you today, and thank you, Matt, for introducing me and making sure that I got on the schedule for this. So I am Ty Prowant. I'm presenting today. So I'm the president of the Gulf Coast Skateparks Association. I've been skateboarding for 22 years. I've been to 137 different skate parks across America, Europe, Africa. Former sponsored skateboarder from El Paso, Texas. Started Shotgun Skateboards, a skateboard company. I'm on YouTube. Your kids might have seen me. But I started up the Gulf Coast Skateparks Association because we saw a need on the coast for these parks because people were skating, but they didn't have a safe place to do it. So our mission is to grow the skateboarding community and to build free public skate parks along the Gulf Coast. So we are a newly established 501c3, and I'm going to go through our brief history because we just got established last year. And we're going to go through the skate park benefits and then a little proposal for Jackson County about a potential project and get y'all thinking about what skateboarding could look like here in Jackson County. So all the images that you'll see in this presentation are from events that we've hosted. October last year, we saw this need and I got together with my friends and we started doing this fundraising and seeing who would be appropriate to join a board of directors to start a nonprofit. And during that time, our friends and family and people in the community gave us $5,000 and we used that to become a charity. And then June of 2024, we obtained our 501c3 status. So since then, we've been able to, well, even before we were official, we've been hosting weekly meetups every Wednesday night underneath the I-110 bridge in Biloxi. So we've had 44 weekly meetups with 30 on average skaters coming out, and that's all ages, families, all coming in and enjoying the day. Or we've organized 6 major events with an average of 250 guests. And then we've taught 75 youth, blowing away our goals for the year. And then we've given away 60 helmets for free. We highlighted talent on the coast of the different skateboarders who've existed here for a long time and haven't had their time in the sun. We brought them out and shown the coast what the skaters look like here. We also built the Biloxi DIY skate park, and some of the ramps you see in some of these photos are ones that were either donated by the community, by members who already had some stuff, and we kind of gave them a focal point to bring their stuff together, or we fundraised and brought some stuff in, just like we did actually yesterday. We just got done with a little $2,000 project to renovate some of the things we already built and make it last a couple more years. So we've raised in total for the project about $3,500 just for this project that we're working on in Biloxi. Now, skate parks have so many different benefits. So first of all, we got to engage the youth, right? So we have to invest in our youth. Skateboarding is great because it helps build a little bit of resilience. We're going to talk about here our economic boost and how it can help bring a little bit more dollars into our towns here on our coastal cities, and then how it helps grow the community. So when we engage our youth, we give them a dedicated space to explore and express themselves in a safe environment. It's going to do so much for them. They're going to be able to practice that resilience because in skateboarding you fall about 1,000 times sometimes before you figure out how to do it properly. And then we want to have a safe place for them to do it. We don't want them to go do it at a place that's not designed for it, maybe rough grounds or in front of their house on a county road and something terrible happen, right? So we want to create that safe place for them to do it. It's awesome because it attracts diverse groups who might not otherwise mingle. Because skateboarding, it is for everybody, whether, what doesn't matter, your age or race, or your sex, like just skateboarding just brings us all together. And it's a very inclusive environment as well. So everyone is welcome as long as you got your skateboard with you. And then the economic impact, so it can attract visitors from outside this area. So for example, Pensacola just built a $2 million skate park about 2 years ago. And I know a lot of my friends that are from these coastal towns, they'll go there, or they'll go to New Orleans, or they'll go to Mobile, where they have premium skate parks. We want that for our coastal cities here in Mississippi as well. So it retains those locals too. They're not going out and spending their money that they earned in the county and taking them out. And then visibility and image. It can help, add to the culture and vibrancy that is the coastal lifestyle down here. And then lastly, that community growth, it's a focal point. The skate park is a place that people can come and share ideas and talk about what's happening in their lives, that inclusive culture again. But something interesting about these skate parks is it's used all year round. Whereas some seasonal sports are just used for a fraction of that time, skateboarding is constantly, you will see someone always out there using that park. Now, the proposal that I'm talking about is based off of this model that we created in our last year. So first of all, we set a goal to create a professional park somewhere in the county. And then we can start, right? That's the big goal. We can start by doing a pop-up event and then weekly meetups, which is what we did. We did one pop-up event to see, okay, what is the interest? Like, who is out there in the county who would also like to help and get involved in a project? And then we coordinate these weekly meetups where every week we're just coming together, skating, checking in, but we can also share what's going on with as we move forward. And then we can move towards a temporary DIY park build. So that do-it-yourself skate park like we built in Biloxi, we just built that with the community of skaters all on our own, working with the city as well though, because these projects tend to go one of two ways. Either it's the city, enough people go and do advocacy and bring it to the city, and it takes a long time, but it's done proper, or they go renegade and they do it on their own and then they hope they don't get tore out. So we've kind of made a hybrid of the two, where we let the community get involved up front, and they are doing a lot of the legwork to get the skate scene going and moving in the right direction, while the government works towards getting the project properly designed and all the affairs that need to be taken care of done. We can also use, like we have this past year, use all the data that we gather in that first year to go for grants. So that weekly meetup, we can show like, hey, we have this many youth coming out. The contest, we have this many people coming out for our major events. We use all that data to help us steer and understand what the project should look like when it hits its end state. And it helps us going for grants like the Tony Hawk Foundation, which is now the Skate Park Projects Foundation, and several others that are like that. So what we can offer y'all, so we provide that data about skateboarding because we're on the ground with the skaters every day and we're trying to collect that input. We're also guiding the community and steering the culture. So if we see any negative elements, we are constantly trying to deter it, and then our skateboarders are gaining that culture up front. And then as we're the mentors, the old skaters are teaching the younger skaters, we're sharing the best parts about our community to them. And then we can provide to y'all or to anyone who's trying to do these projects that subject matter expert when it comes to design, what the skateboarders will actually appreciate, what'll be skill inclusive, because we're not trying to build parks for the professionals. We want to build parks for community so people can grow. So it'll be skill level inclusive for beginners, intermediate, and a little bit for advanced, right? Again, we can help with the grant data and applications, and then we can collect that community feedback. We can become the focal point for that and provide that back up to the county. So, in conclusion, I just want to say thank you all again for giving me the time to talk to y'all about skateboarding. I'm super passionate about it. I'm sure you can tell. If y'all have any more information, my contact is up here. I also have a business card if you'd like it, but it's my phone number. We also have a website where if anyone is interested in donating to our projects, we can also in the future incorporate a place where we can be a vector for some of the any funds from the community. If they want to give us the money, we can set aside a special page on our special part of our page to be just for a Jackson County skate park. My email and everything else is on there. We're on social media, but thank you again for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah, so we've just got, a few, I've talked to Randy and Troy, St. Andrews Park and then the Lemoyne Boulevard soccer fields has some available space in it that we've kind of had, just planned out over the last few years for potential spots for them. And we hope to at least maybe get a design started on one soon. So we're kind of, Lemoyne Boulevard Fields is kind of the most optimal spot in my mind for that. It's a very urbanized area, kind of feel like you'd get a lot of kids just walking in from the neighborhoods around there that wouldn't even have to drive too far. And then if you did, have, skaters from Ocean Springs or other parts of the county, it's not that far if they did need to drive there. So kind of just want to get the planning process underway and then see maybe how it could fit into a construction budget over the next few years. So just wanted to kind of let y'all know that's kind of what we were planning for, just make sure everybody's okay with that before we, engage anybody. So.
Do y'all have any questions?
What would be, we would own it, you would operate it, or what?
No, it would need to function pretty much just like a county park, where it would be, in a county property and the county would own it. But what Tyler was describing is before we got to that part, their organization could help out with some temporary, just wooden ramps in a parking lot somewhere. Lemoyne has a lot of parking lot space at it. That might be a good place to just kind of get something started, but it's just a way to, further build public support for it and engage the public about it and just, gather up information about what type of park the community might want to.
And also the benefit of us coming in and doing that is that it comes in online early for these skateboarders and these families, so they can get a little bit of a taste up front of what a bigger professional park might be like quick, because we can do that in like just a few weeks with a couple $1,000s, maybe even raise from internally, or if there's some money set aside that discretionary that we can use to buy some small stuff up front and there's space available, we could just bring that online early.
Plus, too, I think we'd have to really look into the liability insurance part of it too, to see, what liability the county would have in operating
Right.
this.
And they could help with that too. That's something that we've already talked about. They have some insurance professionals that are in the organization that have done the same thing for the city of Biloxi, correct? They basically handed off their insurance documents and they reviewed them to see if they did match up with what it would need to cover for a skate park facility. And to my knowledge, it's not that much different than just general, an open park liability coverage anyways. As long as it's, signage is up about safety, and proper rules and conduct at the park, as long as that's, up and visible and well known. And as long as the park is maintained well, obviously if you got a big crack in the concrete and it's gonna, hurt somebody, then that's, a liability on itself. But that's something that we're already doing at our parks and boat launches and, everywhere anyway, so. Another really good benefit to their organization that I like is the, mentoring side of it, where you would have older skaters there to help try to guide the youth and to help, detract and avoid and push back any kind of negative, conduct that you would get there. So I think if you didn't have that and you did just try to stick it off somewhere far out in the county, somewhere that's not very visible, then that's when you do have a good opportunity for a lot of negative things to happen there. But if it's, up front, and the community supports it and you've got a group of skaters that are supporting it and wanting to see it survive, and last a long time, I think we'll have a lot of, community support to avoid any of those types of issues, including, just frivolous liability claims, so.
Isn't it an Olympic sport now?
Yes, sir.
It is. That's
what
what
I
you were gonna
thought.
touch on that.
Actually,
Sure.
so in 2020, it was in the Tokyo Olympics, and then again 2024. So the medalist from America, who's won now 2 Olympic medals in skateboarding, I met him, Jagger Eden, I met him in New Orleans. Fantastic skater, seen him, and he's setting a really good example for kind of the role model. And I would love to see an Olympian, from Mississippi make their way to the international stage. And in fact, part of our vision is a little bit of that some of the talent that is cultivated here over the years can one day be seen, debuted over there. Because I think that Mississippi, these southern states have these athletes in all kinds of different sports fields that get represented. I think they're out there in skateboarding too. They don't have the skate parks to develop the talent yet. So maybe working together, we can make that a reality.
Yeah, I don't think liability would be much of a concern.
Does it change the liability if it's not built by us? Like if it's a DIY park, would that mean that we need to check to make sure it's safe or?
Right, well, I think if it's our park, even if somebody else builds it, if it's our park, I can think of a number of different defenses. Number one, you're never gonna have a jury, it's always gonna be tort claims, so it'll be just a judge. You put up a proper sign and skate at your own risk. Somebody like Randy goes out there and tries to skateboard and falls, I mean, it's a assumption of the risk. I mean, Randy, didn't you see that, you're getting on a tall thing, so you got assumption of the risk defense, you got immunity defenses, if it's maintained like any other park that we have, I think that just goes with running the county. We just maintain it okay and make sure there's no hidden hazards, and I think we'd be fine.
What you think, DJ?
I mean, recreation comes in all different shapes and forms, and, this idea, the more I research it, this is something to eat, I think that's, we can eat. I think it's probably bigger than we think it is, especially on that side. It's a good place to start. I like the pop-up events, because we'll know, we'll start getting that, and then those pop-up events will tell us that.
It's on that, on the grassy side, opposite of where the parks are already, they're on one. Is there a spot where we could pour some concrete, or what would we need to do?
Yeah, that's kind of the spot we had carved out for it. Yeah, you've got, if you're looking at the map, towards that east side, there's, nothing over there between the road and the little bayou stream that goes over there. Troy, you had asked, if there was a spot for pickleball courts at Lemoyne, because it was such a popular sport as well. That area, we think, could easily fit about 8 pickleball courts, along the road, and then a skate park facility, a little bit further north on that same side, and have like a parking area that would separate the two uses. Is kind of what we had been batting around as far as an idea. So, all right, well, thank you all so much for your time, and we'll just get back with you if we get further along with it, so.
Let's go.